YouTube, hello! Today we're talking about cancelled Halo games, from the cancelled Halo MMO to the cancelled Halo Battle Royale. We even have a cancelled Flood horror title, the cancelled Helldivers 2 game. We have the initial Halo Infinite concept that would have been a Halo 5 sequel, and even the Halo Starfighter game that I thought would have been very cool. It is no mystery that Halo fans have wanted more Halo for a long time, and I think a lot of these concepts, a lot of these prototypes, a lot of these games, the Megabloks Halo game comes to mind, people would have really liked. So today we're going to go through all of them. Leave me a comment as to which one you would have liked to have seen most. Let's get into the video. So first up today, I have to talk about the developers themselves. The developers over at 343 Industries pitched over 10 to 20 games to the Microsoft executives. Some of them then went into a prototyping stage. The official quote reads, "We must have pitched 20 to 30 game ideas that would have totally worked in the Halo universe." Now what I have always said is the Halo universe is so diverse. You have ODSTs, you have Spartans, you have the Flood, the Covenant, even the Banished. Halo's gameplay itself is so diverse and unique that really you could do anything. That is the primary point of this video. Halo is so diverse, mostly anything could work. The first game we're going to talk about is the cancelled Halo Helldivers 2-like game. It is interesting because I first covered this when the news broke. The first tweet that went live said, "Just learned that some ex-343 developers pitched an ODST game that was almost exactly like Helldivers," and as we all know, we've had the Helldivers 2/ODST crossover. It is even more proof that a PvE style game like Helldivers would work in the Halo universe. If you hadn't seen, and I don't know why you would have, but you'll find this very interesting, both 343 developers who weighed in their opinions, who said, yes, we worked on this, yes, we pitched an idea like this, yes, we wish this was a thing, all of their tweets have been deleted. That's right, it's all gone, like it never existed, like it was never said at all. I wonder if Microsoft said you have to delete this, but it was far too late, everyone knew what happened. Following on from this, if you did wonder what the full official paragraph said, and I said a little bit just before, it said we must have pitched 20 to 30 game ideas over the 12 years I was there that would have totally worked within the Halo universe. Many single player and multiplayer ODST themed ones, some galaxy spanning, some more intimate, and one that was really dark. Now when he says really dark, and there's only one image that we could even find about this, there was a planned Flood horror title. This Flood concept would have you on a Flood infected area, whether it be a planet, a city, we don't know, and you can see a Spartan team, 2 on a mongoose, 3 on a warthog, fighting through a Flood infected hive. This is something that Halo fans really would have loved. To think you are the last boots on the ground, or you're actually dropping into a Flood infected area. Your objective? Wipe them out, survive, or escape. Either of those three the Halo community would really love. Again, PvE. It doesn't always have to be PvP. You can be so inspired when you talk about Halo and the games you could do within the universe. That is the core point when people talk about Halo Campaign Evolved. That is why they get upset sometimes. They're like, yeah, cool, a re-release of Combat Evolved. That's great for the 25th anniversary. We get it. But we want more than that. We want inspired new releases that build on the universe. Take Halo to the next level instead of just rehashing the past. I read your comments. I see where you're coming from. I get it. I know that I'm going to be able to launch a Warthog on the Halo remake and it'll do very well and that'll be very fun, but in terms of inspiration and moving the franchise forward, people want more than just retelling the past. In terms of galaxy spanning games, which the 343 employee actually mentioned, there's 2 very notable games that come to mind. The first of which was just a prototype, but it was actually a Halo Spacefighter combat game. We've seen with the recent release of Halo Reach Spacefighter Combat that even ship-to-ship combat Halo fans would really love. I posted the Halo Reach Space Combat on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and by far it had the best traction in terms of likes, comments, and even views of anything I uploaded this year. If that doesn't show you that there was a desire for this type of game, it really bewilders me as to why Microsoft hasn't greenlit a lot of these projects. 1, they're leaving so much money on the table, but 2, it seems like they don't understand their audience, or 3, they don't have faith that these projects would actually do well, and yet when they leak, people talk about them, or when mods actually recreate the initial idea, they do very, very well. The bigger, more galaxy-spanning one was actually the cancelled Halo MMO. The good thing is, a developer named Sandy Peterson, who worked at Ensemble Studios, and I covered this a little while ago, they actually spilled the beans on exactly what the project was going to be. So I'll read what she said. Sandy said, in 2008, Ensemble Studios started planning a gigantic MMO set within the Halo universe. We codenamed it Titan. It was to take place tens of thousands of years ago, before the Halos were set off and destroyed all sentient life in the galaxy. I was in charge of the universe building. planet histories, alien species, etc. You could play either as the Forerunners or their enemies. The Covenant, the Flood of course, were in the game, but they were not playable. We had quest lines all worked out, homeworlds for all the species, etc, etc. The lowest estimate we and Microsoft had for the game's total income was $1.1 billion. It was all brought to naught when Don Mattrick realized that his stock bonus was based on the income Microsoft had from his games in 3 years. You see, we estimated 3.5 years to finish Titan if we did it right, which by modern gaming standards is actually very quick, and that was beyond Mattrick's drop dead date. So by firing all of Ensemble, he didn't have to pay for our expensive studio for 3 years, and he didn't care about Titan. All he lost was a game studio who never sold less than 3 million copies of everything we made. I don't believe he did justice to Microsoft stockholders, but hey, Don started as an EA hatchet man, so what would you expect? So Halo fans missed out on a Halo-centric MMO, a massive game that would have been set within the universe purely because of one man's greed. And that should really give you guys an eye-opening look at just how much power these executives have. When I talk about the day-to-day developers, either at Halo Studios or formerly 343, they are all beholden to Microsoft. Of course, there's issues within the studio itself that we've spoken about on the channel, but when they have that much power to make these big, broad sweeping decisions, they don't truly understand the franchise. They're not gamers, they really know nothing about it. All they look at is money on a spreadsheet, but even then they truly don't understand. They don't see the potential of what a game like this could do, and that to me is the crux of where Halo has been mishandled. Next on the list, and this is a particular project that I think is really important. Yes, I've spoken about it in the past, but I don't feel like people truly understand the ramifications of cancelling a project like this. Now, it's no mystery that Halo has an aging viewer base. At least for my analytics, 25 to 32 or even into the 45 to 52 age range is my primary audience. Younger fans play Fortnite, they play other games, they don't necessarily play Halo. The cancelled Halo Megabloks game, in my eyes, would have been a great way to bridge the gap, get new audiences into the franchise, and then they can try out the first-person games. The cancelled Halo Megabloks game, and there was about 2 to 3 levels that were actually playable, and I showcased it on the channel, so I'll put it on screen now. You could build objects, structures. It was basically Lego within the Halo universe, just Megabloks. It still had that Halo charm, you know, that goofiness that Combat Evolved has, but it was in a cartoonized way. The thing I think of the most when I see this is the hunter that squishes the grunt, looks at his shoe and is like, ew, that's gross. Those little things, they really feel very Halo. There was split screen co-op, you could do different difficulties, you could build things. All of the Halo vehicles were kind of Lego-fied. Mega-blockified doesn't really sound as good, but I feel like in the broad scope of understanding Halo, moving the franchise forward and making it accessible to broader audiences while still maintaining what is Halo, because we all know Microsoft wants to expand that broader audience, that would be a way to do it while not affecting the status quo of the current fans. That's why I was confused when I heard it got cancelled, because I can see the potential with this. Pre-existing fans, when I covered on the channel, absolutely loved it, so they were happy. It would get those new audiences into the franchise too, so they would be happy. It really is such a shame, and I did see some people comment saying there was issues with Megabloks themselves. There was licensing, and there's other problems that were going on behind the scenes that might have been the reason as to why it got cancelled in the first place. In any case, if this could be revived, if it was just a licensing issue, it wasn't just straight out cancelled, I would love to see the cancelled Halo Megabloks game get finished. The final game, if you want to call it that I'm going to be covering today is the Halo 5 sequel / Tatanka, the Battle Royale. Now, when Halo Infinite was first being developed, it was being developed as a direct sequel to Halo 5. There was concept art of the Arbiter, different Spartans, galaxy-spanning stories, more stuff about the Guardians, the weapon, different looks for Cortana. She had some very wild looks that I'll put on screen now. Even Halo Infinite, what we actually got compared to what was actually concepted, was very different. Halo 5 Warzone 2.0, different weapons, fighting the Warlords on the ring, Atriox's Warlords, campaign DLC, fighting scarabs. We all know how much got cut from Halo Infinite's campaign. The wildlife? When I talk about cancelled Halo games, I know it's not a direct cancellation, but when you see the initial concepts and what the final game actually was, there was a rumor at one point that 5 to 6 different games were being developed, and then Joe Staten had to come in and pick and choose everything and put it all together. We could have gotten a vastly different Halo Infinite, especially the campaign, but god do I wish Halo Infinite lived up to its full potential. On the other side of that, we have the Battle Royale, Tatanka. There was internal playtests about the Battle Royale that happened for a very long time. From my sources and from what other people have said, there was really big stability issues when trying trying to get Halo to run a battle royale on the Slipspace engine. That Slipspace engine was just a nightmare. So they did solo, duos, trios. I'll put the image that leaked up on screen now. They did internal playtests within Microsoft employees. There was versions that ran with bots, but stability was one of the big issues. Now, as for the future of Project Tatanka, officially it got cancelled, but no one really knows if Certain Affinity has taken the project, moved it to Unreal, and then built upon it. That would mean it's not a battle royale anymore, so I'm just going to say that off the bat. And this is one of the future multiplayer projects people think they're working on, a large-scale mode. We have no idea specific details beyond that. I wonder if they go extraction shooter? Time will tell. In any case, there has been multiple cancelled Halo games. Every single one I went through the list today, I feel like would have been very successful. It's a shame because it's been 4 years since Halo Infinite released. We're probably getting Campaign Evolved next year for Halo's 25th anniversary. We have no idea when the next Halo multiplayer is coming out, but all of these projects that got cancelled, didn't go past the prototyping stage, or there was licensing issues. I feel like Halo fans really would have loved it. So if anyone from Microsoft, anyone from Halo Studios, any executive sees this video, look at the comments, look at what people are saying, look at all the videos I've done about these individual projects all throughout the year. Halo is so diverse. You can do anything with it. It doesn't just have to be a Spartan story. You can do ODSTs, you can do PvE, you can do Flood horror. Please utilize the Halo franchise to its full extent. That is what I want people to take away from this video. Halo is a wonderful franchise. It's why I make videos about it. It's why you guys watch my videos. Leave me a comment down below as to which project you would have loved to have seen most, or if you have your own idea of a spin-off Halo title you would love to see, leave that as a comment as well. With that said, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.